All right, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our May webinar. And we appreciate everybody's flexibility. We know that this was supposed to be last week, and we pushed it out a little bit so a few of us could get here to camp and make sure that we had all of our ducks in a row. And we're doing the best we can with all of that. But we've got several great things for you tonight and good pieces of information, so be sure to stay tuned. If you would like to, feel free in the chat to drop in your troop and where you're from and where you're joining us from. And we're excited to have you at Raven Knob here very soon. One thing that we did want to let everybody know is that we are here at camp now. And so if you need us, our camp lines are open. So our main phone line is open here at camp. That's on our website, 336-352-4307. And we're here at camp and ready to serve you. Or if you need to send an email to the registration@ravenknob.com email that's in that scrolling banner below, we are here and ready to give you some help. So to introduce everyone, my name is Adam Moore. I am the new camp director. So if you joined us last month, then you heard the announcement from our previous camp director, Hunter Day, and that he has moved on to another career as a very active volunteer with us already, doing some great things and a dear friend to all of us. And then as of May 1st, I've stepped in as our camp director and have been involved with the operations at Raven Knob now for about 15 years. And so lots of things going on and adjustments, but we're making it all work. We have Ash Stemke here, who's one of our assistant camp directors. Wesley Warden is here, and I'm going to get him. There he is. And Wesley Warden is here, one of our other assistant camp directors. Sam Sedlacek, our program director for the summer. And then Max Kerpes is our IT guy here for camp. And we'll go over some technological things with you in a bit. So we appreciate everybody being here. Again, feel free to drop your information in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. If you have questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. If we have the opportunity to answer those live, we'll certainly do so. But if not, we'll try to answer you in the chat or follow up with an email afterwards as best that we can. And so with that, I am going to get most of us out of the way here and turn it over to Ash, who's going to talk to you all about some required forms.
All right, thank you, Adam. I've mentioned a few of these things at previous webinars, but just to kind of refresh everyone's memory on this about some of the forms and documents that you'll need to have with you to bring to camp this summer. All of this is available through our Leader's Guide and some of the other references here. But if we go under to Leader's Guide and Forms down here under Scouts BSA Summer Camp, there's actually a nice list of it right here that says, here's the required documents. So all youth and adult participants require the scouting medical form. We also have this other additional form for the youth participants only, which is called our outdoor parental release form. We ask that you attach this individually to each Scouts medical form. This is only required for youth participants. But as far as what this form looks like, it's a pretty quick and easy form that has to do with a state of North Carolina regulation that mentions a few different activities that take place at summer camp and essentially getting parental permission for Scouts to be in the environment where those activities take place. The other ones are kind of a little bit further down. So in addition to the standard scouting medical form, there's also this other one down here called the supplemental medical form. This one's only an optional form, but we recommend it if you have any Scouts or leaders with particularly particular medical needs, whether it's specialized medications or any conditions that might require specialized medical treatment. You can let us know about those things there so we can better serve you all. Going from there, there's kind of two more main things that have to do with letting us know about your troops' status coming into camp. One, of course, is the special diet form. That's right here. This is how you let us know if you have any Scouts or leaders with dietary needs or allergies, restrictions, things like that. I'll show you that form right here. We can open that up just like this. This is something that we only need one of per unit, and that's if you have people in your unit that with dietary needs or restrictions. So this could be common food allergens, this could be vegetarian diets, gluten-free, things like that. And you just kind of put right here what the people's names are in your unit, and what their dietary needs are. As this paragraph here explains, our kitchen staff is very good at working with scouts and leaders with dietary needs. We regularly accommodate things like gluten-free and dairy-free diets, vegetarians, things like that. If you have sort of one of those more standard food allergies or diets, that's all you need to list on there, and we can accommodate that, and we'll have food prepared for you. If you have a more specialized need in your troop, a particularly severe allergy or something a little bit more complex, the best thing you could do would be email us about that. And we may reach out to you and try and figure out a solution to make sure that everyone has something to eat while they're here for the week. And the last one that I'll mention back on the main forms and guides page over here is the swim classification form. This is how you can let us know about any swim tests that your unit has done prior to camp. You're, of course, welcome to do those during the check-in process on Sunday, but many units prefer to do their swim tests ahead of time to save having to get in the water on that first day of camp and provide kind of speed things up and get these done before coming to camp. If you do the swim checks in advance, it's the standard scouting swim tests, which are found in the Aquatic Supervision Manual, as well as the Guide to Safe Scouting. They're reprinted right here for you, and then you just fill this out with each scout and leader's name and what their classification is. Additionally, who is authorizing that the tests took place, and kind of that thing. This form can be uploaded on our website. In addition to just bringing it to us, you're welcome to just bring it on check-in day. But another place to do this is you can actually go over here to this submenu where it says swim checks, click there. This has more information about that. And there's actually a place right here where you can tell us your unit, council, things like that, and upload the actual file right here. And we'll just get it that way. We'll have it ready to go for our aquatic staff whenever you arrive at camp. I know that one thing that is kind of coming down the pipeline, if any of you subscribe to the National Aquatics Committee sort of updates that they post every so often about aquatics happenings in Scouting America, one of their most recent updates actually clarified the pre-camp swim test procedure and is letting everyone know that it is sort of a camp by camp kind of thing. And so they are actually discouraging people from using any sort of form from a different camp or whatever it might be. It's sort of at the discretion of any individual camp or council, kind of what their policy is on pre-camp swim tests. And here at Raven Knob, we do encourage them. And so if you've got those that have been done at a local pool or somewhere else, as long as they're authorized by one of your unit leaders that they were conducted in accordance with the Guide to Safe Scouting, then we generally will accept that. And you can just fill out that form to let us know. So that's all I've got on forms and guides for right now, but you will definitely hear from me in a little bit later with some more stuff.
All right. Thank you, Ash. We're going to move on to transportation. And if anybody has any transportation needs in coming or going to camp, and we're going to hear from Wesley on that. And Wesley, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. Sorry, my screen here is not wanting to sit on its stand the way it's supposed to. There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to pop in here real quick and say if you are using our transportation pickup service, so that is any unit that we are, if you are needing us to pick you up from the Amtrak station or the airport, then you need to let us know that. We have a form for you to let us know that. Ash is going to scroll over to it here. You can find it under the Scouts BSA Summer Camp tab. And then leaders guides and forms right under there, right where Ash was at a few minutes ago. And you'll see that there are two green buttons right here. The one on the right is the transportation pickup request. That's the one that we need filled out. That explains the cost. So that is a round trip cost. That date is coming up pretty quickly. So we definitely need to know. And that is so that way we can be prepared in terms of what kind of transportation we need to come and pick your unit up. So do we have enough 15 passenger vans, or do we need to rent a charter bus, things like that. So this just asks basic information such as like, when are you arriving, where are you arriving, and then obviously like what time you're departing. We'll also confirm with you your departure details once you are actually at camp as well. But really we just need to know, especially right now, when you are arriving. And then so that way we can go ahead and prepare, basically. And then that fee will be added to your Tenru account here probably pretty soon if it hasn't been already. But you should see that in the registration options whenever you look at your Tenru account. Again, we're asking for these by May 15th, and that's just that way we can plan properly. If you have any questions about it, feel free to let us know as well. Adam, are you still there? I will say, actually, real quick, while Adam's coming back in here, just kind of how that process is. So we will reach out to you to confirm those details, and then a couple of people have asked kind of what that pickup process looks like. Typically, we will pick you up from, like I said, either the Amtrak station or the airport, and then we will. They typically stop, especially if you're coming from the Cary or Raleigh area. They typically stop in Burlington. There's a stop that our kind of tour bus drivers typically stop at. It has a bunch of different restaurant options. You can get something to eat, and then we bring you back here to camp. If you're coming from the Charlotte airport, then we'll do it a little differently, but we'll keep you advised on that. But just in case anybody had any questions on what that process looks like, going back is pretty similar. They stop usually at the same spot and then go and drop you off at either wherever you're departing from. So if you have any more questions, again, like I said about that, just let us know.
Thank you, Wesley. Lots of good information. And we can't emphasize enough that if you have transportation needs, we really need to know that as soon as possible, preferably by the end of the week, so that we can make these arrangements. And there's a lot of logistics that go into that. So thank you, Wesley, for talking about that. We're going to move on to Sam Sedlacek, who's going to talk a little bit about life at camp and our daily schedule.
So let's talk about our daily schedule here. So under this tab called Summer Camp Life at Camp, you see daily schedule, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of the hour by hour, kind of sometimes minute by minute. But first off, first thing in the morning, we have Reveille at 7 a.m. That's kind of the wake up call for the morning, just to make sure everybody's up and rolling. And then at 7:10, we have the waiters report to the dining hall. That's to get everybody there to set up the tables and get your drinks set out and get your meal space ready for everybody to come and eat at, essentially. Then at 7:20, we want everybody at the dining hall outside for assembly. We'll have our flag ceremony, get the flags put up in the morning, get a grace said, and then at 7:30, we'll have everybody inside and ready for breakfast. And then after that, at 8:10, we'll have a leaders meeting where we can give you guys some vital information, stuff, day-to-day stuff that may just update and be like, oh, hey, we have this thing happening today. If we have any volunteers, things along those lines. And then we go into our session. So from 9 to 11:50, we have our first block of sessions. So each session is 50 minutes, and then they'll have about a 10-minute walking break in between each to get from their first session to the next session to the next session. And then at 12:10, we'll have our waiters report to the dining hall, set up same kind of situation as breakfast. And then at 12:20, we'll have assembly. So everyone gathers the main area, the parade ground, and then we'll go inside. At 12:30, we'll have lunch. And then you'll have about an hour-ish gap in between when lunch ends and when the fourth session starts. So you can kind of go back to your campsite, catch breath, do whatever you need to do. And then from 2 to 4:50, we'll have our last block of sessions. So that's sessions 4 through 6, and again 50 minutes. And then they'll have a 10-minute walking gap in between. Then they'll have a little gap in between dinner and in between their last session and dinner. So they'll have at 5:40, we'll have the waiters assemble at the dining hall. Then at 5:50, we'll have the assembly happen, and then at 6 o'clock, we'll have you inside for dinner. And then scroll down a little bit. And then at 6:50, we will be having Vespers at the chapel. That's going to be on Sunday and Friday nights is when we're going to be having Vespers. Then the rest of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, we're going to be having twilight activities. On Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we'll have a campfire at 8:15. Then at 9:45, every night we'll report to our campsites. And at 10 o'clock, there'll be taps. And yeah, that's pretty much all for the schedule. Pretty simple once you get used to it. After you're living it for almost 10 years, you get pretty used to it.
Yeah, and we'll highlight a question here. Does each troop need to send a waiter, and how many are required? Yes, there does need to be a waiter from each troop. Most units will send about 2 waiters generally to get set up, but if you are a really large troop and you've got a lot of tables, you may want to send 1 or 2 more, just something to consider. So you won't have to worry about that on Sunday night at dinner at your first meal. We, as the staff, will take care of that for you, and you'll have learned the process by that point to be able to start Monday morning at breakfast. But Should just need maybe 2 or 3 people, can usually take care of everything, especially if you've got a larger unit. Thank you for that, Sam. Good information. Next, we're going to move on to Ash, who is going to talk to us about the dining hall procedures. So going right along with
Yes,
what we were just talking about.
This was actually a perfect segue because I was actually about to answer this question here about sort of the waiter system and how that works. So a couple notes on the dining hall at Raven Knob. For those of you who are familiar with us or maybe are new this year, we assign tables at the dining hall. So as part of your check-in process, you'll go to the dining hall on Sunday during the check-in process to become familiarized with where your tables are for your unit in the dining hall and kind of what that procedure looks like. The waiter system basically means that scouts from each troop will help with the setup and cleanup for their own troop's table at each meal. They are cafeteria style meals, so there's no actual like food that they have to go get or anything. But as far as like getting the pitchers of water at lunch and dinner and cleaning up and sweeping and taking out the trash and things like that afterwards, that's kind of the duties of the waiter there. Most of the time, troops assign about 2 to 3 scouts. If you have a larger troop, you may want more than that to come early each day. Often troops will kind of rotate through, so they'll have 2 or 3 people come on Monday and 2 or 3 different people come on Tuesday or whatever it might be. But anyway, the premise there is they're going to help kind of set up some of the things and then clean up after the meals as well. We'll talk more about the waiter system when you get to camp. But as far as leaders go, you all may want to start thinking about who might do that each day and kind of coming up with some sort of schedule for your unit. A couple other things about our dining hall. I already mentioned the table assignments, the waiter system, and of course our dietary form for people with dietary restrictions. The way our dining hall is set up, there's kind of 4 main sections. We actually do have 4 serving lines. We're able to serve quite a large number of people in a very small amount of time. And typically we'll have some announcements and other things like that during the meals. One other thing I'll mention about our dining hall is that if you're curious what kind of food you might be in store for you this summer on this Scouts BSA Summer Camp Life at Camp tab, I'll actually show you once again how to get there. If you're back on our main homepage, if you go to this Scouts BSA Summer Camp tab and go to Life at Camp, it's right in here. And this one right here, this tab that says Dining Hall Menu. Let's take a look at that. Now, of course, this is left from last year. I guess we probably should update this. Our dining hall manager actually is in camp. She was here earlier today, and we're kind of putting the finishing touches on menu planning, as you will. So once we get all that finalized information from her, we'll have this up here. But it will likely look something like this. I'm not going to read all of this to you right now because you can look at it yourself. But if you or your scouts are interested in what you might be eating each day, here's what we used last year, and I think our food this year will be somewhat similar. My personal favorite night is the chicken pie night. I find this meal to be absolutely wonderful. That's my favorite dinner of the week, but everyone has their own opinions on kind of what their favorite meals of the week are. That's kind of mine there. Throughout the pre-camp process and the arrival process and things like that, if you've got questions about whether it's the food or the procedure for dining or anything like that, feel free to send us an email and we'll get back to you with information and help you however we can there. So that's about all I have. That's about all I have for the dining hall.
Perfect. Thank you, Ash. Lots of great information there. Something that you'll learn if you've never been to our camp before is our dining hall is in operation. It's kind of like the heartbeat of everything that we do is trying to get a meal in and out on time and having everything flow in the right way. And so you'll see how that works once you get here, but it's a lot of great information. I would also agree chicken pie is my favorite dinner as well. And that it's a really debatable comment here in this camp. And so people have very strong opinions on that. We will move forward. Let me bring Sam back in and we will talk a little bit about the Honor and Merit Troop program.
So first of all, I'd like to say I disagree with the chicken pie. Personally, barbecue is my favorite night. Just had to get that in there. But yeah, so to talk about Honor and Merit Troop a little bit, if we go to our leader's guide, and then you'll see on our table of contents, it should be down at page 25. Yeah, give me a second to catch up. But on here, it tells you what the requirements are throughout the week, just so your troop can get the Honor or Merit Troop recognition. So for merit troop, there is one mandatory requirement that you do have to get through. The unit participates in activities, follows all the camp rules, and has a general positive attitude that you would expect from camp. Just make sure everybody's having a good time, make sure that everybody's following the rules and getting a chance to participate in stuff that we have throughout the week. So the next we have 8 requirements you have to complete 7 of. So paying your registration materials by the proper deadlines, including all forms and payments submitted. Get that one done. And then the unit has a 50% active membership at camp. So at least half of your troop is there at camp with you all that week. 2 deep leadership provided completely by the unit and is present at the camp at all times. So making sure that you're following 2 deep leadership rules. That the unit maintains a minimum ratio of 1 leader for every 10 scouts. So making sure we're also following that golden ratio of making sure that there's 1 leader for every 10 scouts around, just make sure that everybody's safe and there's at least some supervisor around. And then scouts attending camp must participate in scheduled activities. So making sure that everybody's getting to their merit badge sessions on time, to free swims that they signed up for, or other activities that they want to try and take advantage of. And then scout leaders and leaders in the unit attending meals and campfires in field uniforms, so making sure that you're coming to breakfast and dinner in field uniform and making sure that you're dressed the part and in the scout spirit. And so then the unit should have a clean campsite recorded on the daily inspection sheet. Your campsite commissioner will come through daily and they'll come through and check out your campsite, tell you if there's something wrong and give you points on what you can improve, things like that. Just making sure that you show improvement throughout the week. And then one thing that we'd like to point attention to is bringing 1 can of food per scout to donate to the local food bank. So if you're wanting to complete this requirement, make sure you're bringing a can of food per scout. And so it's 1 can per scout. And then for honor troop, these are also in addition to the merit troop requirements. So you have to have at least 1 leader from the unit complete the Scoutmaster merit badge. So it doesn't have to be everybody, but at least one has to try and complete the Scoutmaster merit badge throughout the week. And then the unit performs a conservation or camp improvement project while at the camp. So you can talk to our conservation commissioner and get a conservation project set up throughout the week. At some point throughout the week, and it will get that requirement checked off for you. And then the unit plans at least 1 unit or campsite activity, and the activity must foster a sense of scouting friendship between at least 2 units. So it could be something simple as a little ice cream social in between your 2 campsites, and just something that shows that you're trying to foster the scout spirit.
That's great. Thank you, Sam. This is a really great program that a lot of units strive to accomplish throughout the week, either the merit troop or the honor troop. And so to clarify that, the merit troop has to be completed in order for the honor troop to be applicable for your unit. And so it's great to go ahead and send that list maybe to your senior patrol leader or somebody like that who can help organize some of those things prior to camp. And of course, a lot can be done when you get here as well. But it's an opportunity to have a little fellowship and some service and keeping your campsite clean and just really, as Sam said, fostering the scout spirit while you're here at camp. And a lot of great things coming from that. So next up on our list, and I will bring Ash back up here, and we are going to talk a little bit about adult leader trainings. Take it away.
Absolutely. To continue one thing Sam just mentioned on this Leaders Guide and Forms page here on our website, which is accessible under the Scouts BSA Summer Camp tab, right there, front and center, is our Leaders Guide that has a lot of that kind of information in it for your unit. The Program Guide, of course, also has things more specific to our merit badge programs. And then we also have over there, I don't know why the image is not loading. There it is. We've got a parents guide. I would certainly recommend sending this or sending a link to this out to the parents in your unit so they have a bit of an idea about how to send mail to their scouts and, what their scouts should bring with them and things like that. So I'm going to talk a bit about some other opportunities for adult leaders throughout the week. If you go under the program tab now, there's all kinds of things here with specific details. If you've got scouts that are still trying to figure out what sessions they want to register for. I mean, a lot of people have registered already, but if you've got some people who want to decide things like that, there's little pages for all of our different program areas and things like that. Of course, the session list prerequisite place has a large list of all of the sessions in camp, but right now I'm going to focus in on these adult leader programs right here. There's a lot of different things that adults can do throughout the week. Some leaders love to sit in their campsite and relax in the cool mountain air, and that's a great thing to do. But also we got plenty of leaders who like to do training courses and fun activities and get involved. So I want to kind of run over a few of those options with you for things for adults to do throughout the week. There's, of course, various training courses that we offer right here. There are several in aquatics. So if you have adult leaders that are interested in doing safe swim defense, safety afloat, the aquatic supervision courses, we do both the swimming and water rescue and the paddlecraft safety courses, or American Red Cross lifeguarding. All those things are at aquatics. Up at the climbing tower, we offer Climb On Safely and the climbing instructor level 1. We do have CPR, AED, and wilderness and remote first aid courses as well, in addition to introduction to outdoor leader skills, that sort of basic scout skills course. In all of these trainings, leaders are encouraged to sign up in advance. You or your leadership can do that through Tenaroo, just like you would register a scout for a merit badge session. For most of these, we don't require advanced sign up. You can just show up and be registered by us. That's okay. The difference for those is with the CPR AED course and with the wilderness and remote first aid course. Those two have limited spaces available, and there are also fees associated with those. So if you have adults that are wanting to do CPR or do wilderness remote first aid, we do encourage you to sign them up in advance because there may not be spots left upon arrival at camp. The lifeguarding course over here also has a fee associated with it, but the rest of the adult training courses in aquatics, all the climbing ones, and the introduction to outdoor leader skills are all free of charge, included in your camp fees. We also encourage our adults to be active with their scouts throughout the week. Here are various activities that our scouts can sign up for that we also encourage leaders to participate in as well. With something like free swim or mile swim, you can just show up and that's fine. However, with things like our mountain biking program, our disc golf experience, the Cripple Creek Backwoods Living, or the Rampage High Adventure program, we do ask that adults sign up for those things in advance. That way we can plan for transportation and other materials and things like that. The high adventure programs in Cripple Creek and Rampage are both very popular with adults. We love having adults participate in those things. So if you or any of your leaders are interested in doing something fun for the week, we would highly recommend they participate with those programs. With these two, we would want them to sign up in advance because we have very specific numbers for planning and things with those. The rest, they can just show up. We got a few other fun things down here as well. I won't bother reading all of these to you, but if you've got leaders that want to just kind of do some fun things throughout the week, we do a cook-off and a social one of the nights. We do a softball game. So if any of your leaders are interested in getting their butts whooped, we're pretty good at doing that here on our Raven Knobs staff softball team. We also have various opportunities for leaders to help us with merit badge instruction. If you've got a particular skill or career that you want to teach some of the scouts about, if we offer a merit badge in it, we'd love to have your help with that. If you want to help out with our ranger staff or other things around camp, that's great too. We also have a thing called Scoutmaster Merit Badge that I'll go ahead and highlight. Or if we want to be more fancy, the Raven Knobs Scoutmaster Achievement Award. There we go. Scoutmaster Merit Badge is more fun, but this is basically a list of possible requirements that leaders can do if they're looking to get a little award at the end of the week. We give a little pin that says Scoutmaster. And this is for any adult leaders that want to get more involved with stuff around the camp. So this sort of involves like volunteering for a few different things and kind of helping out throughout the week. More or less, you or your other leaders will complete at least 8 of the following requirements. And so here's a lot of different things that they can do, whether that's assisting with serving food in the dining hall or rowing a boat for the mile swim, driving a vehicle or going on a field trip to help supervise. We do field trips throughout the week for aviation, citizenship of the nation, disc golf, and mountain biking. So if you've got adults that are wanting to either drive or just go on a field trip, those things are a lot of fun. Assisting with trash pickup, all kinds of different things. So there's a few different options here that your leaders can choose from. We also count Scoutmaster Merit Badge for unit leaders who do any of these things down here. So if you instruct a Merit Badge session for the whole week, help out in our Raven Scouts, our first year program for the week, complete one of these week-long courses, so either American Red Cross lifeguarding or the climbing instructor course, or just regularly helping the ranger staff with some specialized project throughout the week. So there's a lot of opportunities for adults to get involved. And once again, the place to find that is under Adult Leader Programs. You can read more details about all those things here, but we definitely like having opportunities available for our adults just as much as the kids. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions about any of those.
Very good. Thank you, Ash. There are lots of things to do to keep you busy during the week, if you so choose to be. And so lots of ways to get involved and to really be part of that process. We're going to bring back Sam now, who's going to talk to us a little bit about our Twilight activity opportunities.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Third time's the charm, right? All right, so we'll talk about our Twilight activities. We'll give it just a second to load up. So yeah, if you click on the Twilight Activities tab, you'll see a list of all our Twilight activities for the summer. So as I said earlier in the webinar, on Sunday and Friday nights we'll have our Vespers and Campfire. So Vespers is going to be at 7 p.m. and Campfire is going to be at 8:15 p.m. So pretty much Vespers will end, and then on Sunday night, and then we'll have our leaders meeting, and then we'll have a Campfire at 8:15. And then on Monday, we'll have chaplain's aid training, so that if you want someone to get certified as a chaplain for your troop, then you can get it done that night at the chapel. Or we have troop shoots at 7:15, and you have to sign up for those at the Sunday leaders meeting. So we'll have a call out on Sunday leaders meeting where it's like, hey, this is our shooting sports director. They'll kind of go over the requirements for the troop shoots and all that kind of stuff. And if you have a few that are like, oh, hey, like let's say you have 5 that want to go and the rest of your troop doesn't really want to go, just sign up those 5, because otherwise you have to pay for everybody in the troop. You pay for who you sign up, basically. And then also we have free swimming and boating at 7:15. Basically all of our events start at 7:15. Then we're gonna have t-shirt and tie-dye, t-shirt printing, paracord crafts, all that kind of good stuff at the handicrafts area. Then a totem ship instruction at the Raven Scouts, and then a kickball game at the Mace Midland Field on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we'll have troop shoots as well. Again, same deal as the Monday troop shoots. You'll have to sign up for that on Sunday leaders meeting. Free swimming and boating at the aquatics area, fireman chit at the Scoutcraft area, tomahawk throwing at the chapel, an open archaeology dig at the dig site, the nature area, and then an open nature and open nature / reptile demo at the nature area. It's one of my personal favorites. And that's going to start at 7:30 p.m. And then at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, we're going to have a frog hunt. So if you're in the reptile and amphibian merit badge, that's one of the requirements that you'll cover. But you can also join just if you want to have go out and help hunt frogs. Just make sure you're following the rules. Then on Wednesday night, we'll be having our visitors night. So that'll start at 5:30 p.m. And open nature as well. So that'll be at 7:15 p.m. And you can kind of come in. Your kids kind of come in and show off the nature area a little bit and let y'all see what y'all been looking at throughout the week. Then at 8:15, we'll have a campfire. Then on Thursday, we'll have a wilderness survival overnighter. That'll start at 5:15, so they'll leave before dinner and they'll have dinner out in the field. They'll cover all the requirements to get the overnighter requirement, and don't worry, they will be fed and they will be returned safely. And then free swimming and boating starts at 7:15. Open climbing at the climbing tower, open handicrafts, fishing tournament down in the OA arena, and a few different spots throughout camp. The chess tournament at the program center, and then a flag retirement ceremony at 9 p.m. at the Raven Scouts area. And then, as I said before, Friday it's going to be simple. It's going to be Vespers and then campfire at 8:15.
All right, thanks, Sam. Lots of opportunities there for those that are young and young at heart that can get a lot of things done there. So we're going to move forward now to Wesley, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the Order of the Arrow and what that looks like, and particularly with our out of council units who may have some Order of the Arrow recognitions that they'd like to have done.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to mention just real quick too, this list of Twilight activities is subject to change. We may add something, we may choose not to do something, but just keep updated as you go along, especially as we go through the next couple of weeks. We'll try to nail those things down and figure out that list. So, yes, so I had the pleasure of being the Wahissa Lodge staff advisor for our council and our OA Lodge. If you would like your scouts called out at our Wednesday night call out ceremony, and you are out of council, then what we need is a letter from your lodge, preferably your lodge, or specifically your lodge chief, stating that the members of your troop, whether that be youth or adults, have been elected in your lodge. Have been elected in your lodge and are eligible to be called out. So you can either email that to us ahead of time. You can send it to chief@wahissa.org. Or registration at ravenob.com. Either way, we'll get it to our chief, Trey Radford, at some point. And then also, you can just bring it when you arrive to camp. The process of how this works, and we'll explain more about this during our leaders meeting on Sunday night when you arrive. But we kind of create the call out list in admin and add to it throughout the week as people bring us names. If you believe that you have a name that is supposed to be called out, please verify that in admin ahead of time, just so that way, we can make sure that those scouts get called out properly. So that is sort of the process of that. Again, and I'll put the email address in our comments here, but that's chief@wahissa.org or registration@ravenob.com for those call out letters.
Very good. Thank you, Wesley. So there are some questions here that we'd like to highlight. One, right here, where can we find the description, relevant details on the Twilight activities? Ash, if you'll go through that, it's under program from the main page in Twilight activities, and you will see the schedule there. And on the right-hand side, for those that have relevant information, there's a web page for them that's available for you. But if you have any specific questions about any of those things, just email us at registration@ravenob.com, and we'll be happy to let you know. But I will emphasize what Wesley said at the beginning is that a lot of these things are subject to change. Our core schedule probably stayed in place, but we've got some new ideas that we may be implementing, and we have some other ones that we may kind of pull back on a little bit. And so just be mindful of that and make sure when you actually arrive here at camp that you check the information that we provide to you when you check in or what's available in the dining hall to see what we have there. And then we'll also highlight this question about how old the kids need to be for a troop shoot. For the troop shoots, there's not a particular age. It's more about the scouts' physical size. So we recommend 13 years old or older. However, it's really more about the scouts' ability, particularly with a shotgun. Are they able to actually safely hold the gun and to swing it and do everything that they're supposed to do safely, and then to take the impact when it's fired? So when it comes to rifle and archery, sometimes those things tend to be easier because you can use tabletops and things like that and really help along the way. But that will be at the discretion of our range and target staff, that if they feel that someone cannot safely be able to handle that, then they will pull them off of the range at that point. So just be mindful of that when you're signing up your unit. And then this is a question about our fishing tournament. Does it complete the project phase to complete the angler award? That I don't know right offhand, Amy, but if you will send us an email, we will look into that and see if it fulfills it, and if not, what we can do to maybe help with that. But we appreciate that question. We'd love to be able to help with that program as well. So moving forward is actually me, and we're going to talk a little bit about camp communication. So there are opportunities for parents and friends to be able to reach out to their scouts during the week. And one of the primary ways that they do that is through the Send a Scout a Message opportunity. So you can see what was just done there on the screen. Scouts BSA Summer Camp, Send a Scout a Message. And that will take you to a link that is not yet live because we haven't opened it. But it's just this quick Google form where the individual would fill out the scout's name and what unit they're with, and then to be able to type their message in there. And you'll be able to see a sample of that form right there. And so they complete this, and generally before most meals throughout the day, we'll print these out and be able to disperse them. And so that leads us to something that we didn't talk about necessarily about the dining hall are the mailboxes that are in there. So there are mailboxes near what we call the leader service table at the front of the dining hall, and every troop has a mailbox there, kind of like you think about a little cubby box that's there, and there'll be a label with your troop's name on it. And so in that, you'll find your send a scout a message that came in, or anything that came in through the postal mail, or any things from the admin building that we need to get to you, or anything like that. So we also at Raven Knob love receiving actual physical mail. It is a wonderful thing. And so you can see on our website, and it's also in the Leader's Guide, but Send a Scout Mail, that we receive packages and letters from the United States Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS every weekday plus Saturday. They know us all really, really well at Raven Knob. And so we receive those things, and we just want to make sure that it's labeled properly so that we can get it to your scout or to your adult or whoever that may be. And so you want to follow that formula. Send it to Camp Raven Knob at the attention of whoever the person is that it's being sent to, with their unit number, and preferably the council name as well, because we do have a lot of repeat numbers. So we will oftentimes in camp have the same unit number that is from multiple councils. And you can see that the admin building fills up with packages. That was a particularly large day on that photo. But you know what? I bet this group could beat it. And to be able to bring those in, and we take that to the dining hall and be able to disperse those to you while you're there. And so lots of opportunities on that front. In the case of an emergency, we also have our phone lines that are available as well. And so if you call the main camp line, which is right there at the very top of your screen, at the very top of the screen that's being exhibited, 336-352-4307, you'll be able to get somebody in our admin building, and we will connect you. And at night, we forward that number to our health lodge so that they can answer in the case of an emergency. So the hope is that if you call, someone will answer. If we're out at a meal or something, please feel free to leave a voicemail, and we will get that voicemail immediately and be able to return that call to you and get the information that you need. I also wanted to mention within camp that we do have what we call our Scoutmaster radios, which are issued to leaders when they arrive on Sunday. There's really one per unit. So oftentimes the Scoutmaster or whoever is organizing your unit's trip to camp is going to have this walkie-talkie radio with them that they can put on their belt. And throughout the week, if we need them, we have a way to contact them quickly. If they have an emergency, they're able to get in touch with somebody quickly. And we'll go over a little bit of training on how to use that once you all get here as well. And so lots of great opportunities with that. But if anybody has any questions about any sort of communication or anything like that, we'll be sure to do that. And so at this time, what we will do is I'm going to take that screen off, put on Max, and Max is going to talk to you about the Raven Knob Passport app, which is an opportunity for scouts and leaders to have a lot of information right at their fingertips.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you that have been coming to camp for the past couple of years, we've had this app now for, I think it's 3 years now. So basically what this is a digital version of the passport that we print out for each scout at the beginning of the week. So at the beginning of your week, in your mailboxes on Monday morning, each scout will get a piece of paper that has their individual schedule and a map of camp and an actual like whole event schedule for your week of camp. But we also wanted to make it that if a scout had a phone or if a leader had a phone, that they could also get that on their phone at any time. So here is a quick example of what the app would look like. Obviously, the schedule section will adjust throughout the day to show you what the next upcoming events are. But you can see here, it shows you the daily schedules. So we can see here on Tuesday, all of the things that are happening today, so on and so forth. You can also see things such as some of the twilight activities that we're offering throughout the week. So you can sort of come in here and say, let's say I want to learn more about the CPR training, and you can click on that and learn more about that. It also includes a live and interactable map of camp. So you will obviously see where you are, and then you can come here and say, hey, I want directions to the administration building. And then it will open up your regular map application, whether that's Google Maps or Apple Maps, and then go from there. For this app, though, what has to happen is that everybody, in order to be linked to your event, will get a code. So you can either email us at registration@ravenob.com to get those codes for your unit ahead of time, or each scout on their passport, they will have a QR code that will allow them to come in here and then scan that QR code to link their app registration to their actual schedule for the event. Some other things that we, especially for leaders, recommend that you get this app for is our notifications. So on top of the Scoutmaster radios, since we only have enough for each unit to generally have about one radio, we allow any unit leader or parent or anything like that to get the app, and once they've linked their account, they can get notifications from us at any point during the week, various things for, you know, emergency alerts, severe weather alerts, you know, if it's too hot or something and we say, hey, you know, we're going to be wearing your field uniform or something like that at dinner or for the campfire, that will all come in here into the notifications area so that you can stay up to date, even if you don't necessarily have that Scoutmaster radio. So that's just a quick overview of the app. It is available for both Android and iOS on both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So you can go ahead and download that now. And if you don't have an account, get that set up. And then, like I said, in order to get it linked to your actual event, where you'll see then which, like your week of summer camp, you have to email us, or like I said, you can get that linking code during your week of summer camp on Monday morning.
Lots of great information there, and a really great tool that you can have right there, especially if we have to send out push notifications about an emergency or anything like that, or just common information that we need everybody to be aware of very quickly. It's a good thing to have some leaders that have this with them so that they're able to have that communication as well. And so we try to have multiple ways to be able to get in touch with you, but it's also a great way to keep up with the schedule, see what twilight activities are going, get a quick map of camp, and be able to see what's going on there. And so with that, we thank you, Max. If there's no questions about that, which I'm not seeing any, but again, if you need your code or your app linked, you can send us an email or be able to do that at camp. Oh, Max, here is a question that's popped up. To verify as a leader, we can get all of our kids' schedules.
Yes, that's correct. So I don't have a leader account here, but basically what'll happen is, as a leader on the schedule page, you'll have a button down here that says unit schedule. I can simulate it a little bit. It will look similar to this one, where it lists all of the scouts in your unit, and then you can come in and actually click. So let's just look at one of our test scouts here. So then you can actually click in on that individual scout and see their schedule. And then leaders as well, once you've actually been linked to your unit, you can see your own scouts linking codes. So if just the leader links, then they can pass their phone around and have the kids scan the code just directly from their app as well.
Thank you, Max, for that. Lots of great information there. And moving ourselves along, I'm going to bring Wesley back in, and I'm simply going to ask Wesley one question. They can come back?
They can come back, Adam. And in fact, they can go ahead and sign up to come back, even though camp hasn't started yet. and they haven't attended the first week. So we're joking about our Raven Repeat program, which is a part of our provisional and day camper options here. So Raven Repeat is designed for scouts that maybe are running up on, they're getting close to that age where they need to get some merit badges knocked out. And so a second week of camp would be really helpful to them. Maybe they just come to camp and really enjoy it, and they want to stay an extra week. Then they can do that, and the cost is a little bit less. So you see there the base price for Raven Repeat is $315. It does not have to be consecutive weeks, so you can come week 1 and week 6 if you want to, or week 2 and week 4. It doesn't have to be consecutive weeks. It does apply though to only to scouts who are within the same summer. So if you attended camp with us last year, unfortunately you do not qualify for the Raven Repeat for this year. It's just for scouts that are attending twice within the same calendar camp year there. We do offer a day camper option as well. Those are for usually scouts that are local in our council or surrounding councils. They come up during the day and then they don't stay here. The price is a little bit cheaper, but it also only covers lunch as a meal. So you will need to provide breakfast and dinner for them after camp is over for the day at about 5 o'clock. So our provisional scout is someone who attends camp a different week from their troop. So maybe their family vacation conflicts with your unit's week of camp, or maybe they get sick one week and they will still want to come to camp. They can come a different week. We place them with an established troop. So these are troops that have been to camp for a long time and they know the ins and outs, and usually host provisionals a lot anyways. So they're used to the process, and that's designed basically just to give them basically as close to a week of camp as they can get, even if it's not necessarily with their troop. They can still experience camp and have fun and learn and get merit badges and things like that. And so that's really what our provisional scout program is about. And again, we really do. We're very selective in the troops that we choose to place provisionals with, so that way they can have the best experience possible. The way to sign up right here is you see Ash is scrolling down through right here. It just lists basically the general information that we need to register them. It will ask for some information. It will also ask for scout schedule, things like that. And then it sends us an email after you sign up. We register the scout on our end, and then we confirm with you. We'll send you an email confirmation as well. So this is a great option. Again, if you have a couple scouts in your unit that maybe aren't able to come to camp the week that you are attending, this is a great option for them to still be able to attend camp and enjoy camp and meet new people and meet new friends and things like that. We actually have some scouts that have such a great time during their provisional week that they decide to come back the next summer as a provisional that same week with the same troop because they enjoy it so much. So there's always some trepidation sometimes between, oh, well, this is a brand new troop and my kids don't know anybody or my scouts don't know anybody. I can tell you a lot of times that the scout fits right in as a member of the troop by the end of the week. So it really is a great opportunity and a great option to attend camp if you're not able to attend the week that you're supposed to.
Lots of great information there. We certainly love our provisional campers that we have. They provide a lot for our program. And really, they come in here with the scouting spirit, and they're just able to jump right in and be part of the process. And it's really great for them, and it's really great for the troops that they're with. And we try to take our provisional scouts and match them with some trusted troops that we know Raven Knob very well and can be able to help them. And so a great opportunity with that. And that is not a deadline that follows June 1st or anything like that. You may have a scout who is with you, with your troop at your week of camp during week 3. And then they decide, man, I really want to go do that next week. They could sign up right while they're here to be a Raven Repeat for the following week or later on in the summer. And the Raven Repeat can also be reversed. So perhaps your troop is not coming until week 6. And your scout is coming then, but they also want to come in an earlier week as well, that we could qualify that Raven Repeat price that way too. And so there's lots of different ways to work that. But we love when our scouts come back and enjoy the program. And sometimes they're here taking the merit badges that they need, but in the corner of their eye, they see the merit badges that they want, and they want to come back a different week and do that. And so some awesome opportunities there. I did want to highlight Gary's question here. Do we need proof of insurance? So this is the insurance certificate that is from your council. I'll tell you that if your council is in North Carolina, South Carolina, or Virginia, we have your council's insurance policy. If you are from outside of those states, it's not a bad idea to get that for us. That's a very easy thing. Just a quick email to your council office and they can get that. But a lot of these are very, very similar. But if you are within North Carolina, South Carolina, or Virginia, then we have your policies already and we're good to go on that. Are there any lingering questions? And I'll bring everybody back for a moment. All good.
I don't think there's lingering questions. I will say, I think she saw it, but we looked up the requirements for the Complete Angler Award, and the fishing tournament does satisfy those. So that's something your scout is looking forward to doing. They can definitely use the fishing tournament to satisfy that.
That's wonderful. Yep, a great opportunity there to jump in and a free activity that's fun and go do that one evening and complete that requirement there. So lots of great things. We are right at the 1 hour mark, and I appreciate everybody bearing with us here. And we have a great team put together this summer. We've got a great staff that's going to be coming in just a few weeks. We're hosting National Camping School here at Raven Knob starting later this week. And so camp is really lively. There's a lot happening. People are trickling in, and they're doing all of that so that you and your scouts can come here and really have a great time. And that's what it's all about. We want them to feel the power of the scouting program, to be able to build some confidence and learn some new skills and make friends and be outside. And it's a great place to do that. And we love it. And we hope that you do too. If there's anything that we can do for you, any lingering questions that you have, please feel free to reach out. The best way to do that is registration@ravennob.com. But again, we are here at camp. Our phone lines are open. And so you can call the camp line and we'll be happy to talk with you and match you up with the answer that you need. And if we don't know it, we'll go find it. So we appreciate each of you. And we hope that you have a great evening. And we'll probably see many of you again in June. Thanks so much.